full speed ahead, this machine spews out its blueprints, 300,000 square feet of them, 13 miles of them, 2,874 drawings, and 48 copies of each. Blueprints to the works manager. Blueprints to the assistant works manager. Blueprints to the chief inspector. Blueprints to the controller. Blueprints to the director of purchase. Blueprints to the chief test engineer. From the far corners of the continent come veneers and lumber to feed the gigantic needs of Wurlitzer's cabinet shops. 10 million feet of it a year. Every foot of it is the pick of Appalachian, Adirondack, and Canadian forests. All of it the highest grade hardwood on the market. At Wurlitzer's own siding, carloads of veneer are unloaded and moved to storage. Lumber, too, is unloaded, stacked, and hauled. This used to be back-breaking work. Then somebody used his head instead of his back, and now it's all done mechanically. There are 6 huge dry kilns handling 200,000 feet of lumber at a time. Here comes a load that will go into one of these kilns. It will be dried and cured with temperature and humidity controlled from this panel to a fraction of a degree. No wonder Wurlitzer phonograph cabinets don't warp, buckle, or break out at the seams. They are really made right. Wurlitzer's woodworking department. You can scarcely see from one end to the other, but you can see that it is enormous. Believe me, a walk around this layout leaves you ready for a rest. It also leaves you thoroughly impressed that Wurlitzer knows its woodworking all the way from the forest primeval to the finished phonograph. At one end of this tremendous wood mill, thousands and thousands of boards are cut to rough length after leaving the dry kiln. Conveyor belts catch and carry away the waste wood. It's burned to generate steam and electric power used to run the plant. Clever? Say, these boys think of everything. Here's one for the book, too. A modern ultra-high-frequency gluing process does in 70 seconds what used to take 4 hours. These glued joints are as strong as the lumber itself. Wurlitzer makes its own plywood, too. There's a do-it-yourself and you'll know it's done right philosophy all through this plant. Wurlitzer veneers are the finest money can buy. Grain figurations are carefully matched to produce the rich appearance that characterizes all Wurlitzer cabinet work. Curving and shaping plywood is a skill in itself. Wurlitzer does it the modern way. Air is evacuated from rubber bags. Vacuum is created. And this vacuumatic pressure forces the plywood into shapes that will hold forever. All through this woodworking wonderland, you will find equipment that surpasses the efforts of the finest old European craftsmen. The skill of Wurlitzer workers is something to see as they manipulate these modern machines and precision tools. Despite the fact that all work is with wood, there's no sawdust in the air or underfoot. Every bit is sucked up by an air filtering and conditioning system. It's a clean plant, a healthful plant, a pleasant plant to work in. Here's a multiple spindle borer, drilling holes accurate to the thousandth of an inch. And here's a sander, laying the first foundation of the beautiful finish that helps give every Wurlitzer cabinet play-producing eye appeal. Good men must have good tools, kept at a high pitch of perfection. Here's where it's done. The tool sharpening room. Machines almost human in their operation. Machines more than human in the accuracy they attain. Here, as everywhere, the work must be right. Did I say right? It better be. More than 250 inspectors are around to see that it is. These Hawkshaws are always on the watch for flaws. When they find one, out goes that part, rejected, scrapped, junked in the interests of Wurlitzer quality. Does all this precision equipment and inspection pay off? You bet it does, and cabinet assembly proves it. Here you see the phonograph cabinet taking shape. Side assembly, top assembly, front assembly. No errors made along the line, or this cabinet would never have gone together as quickly or neatly as you see it being assembled here. Final inspection in the white, this time by a master craftsman. To him, there is no compromise with quality. Either it is or it isn't, and it doesn't take him long to decide. Now ready for the first undercoating. It's sprayed on in a water wash booth. No noxious fumes, no danger of fire, no pains spared to protect both Wurlitzer workmen and Wurlitzer quality. Next, the second foundation is laid for the final cabinet finish. Believe it or not, here, worker skill and experience count more than on any previous operations we have pictured. Comes the final coat, each in turn applied by experts whose skill enables them to maintain an absolutely uniform film thickness. No pains are spared here or elsewhere to maintain Wurlitzer's high quality standards. Long lines of phonographs, suspended on a monorail conveyor, move through the finishing department. And here's an interesting feature. The fillers and lacquers are pumped from Wurlitzer's laboratory mixing vats through pipelines to the points where they are applied. Just one more step to assure uniform quality. Incidentally, all fillers and lacquers used in this plant are made to Wurlitzer formulas created by Wurlitzer chemists in Wurlitzer's own laboratories. All finishes must be cold resistant, heat resistant, and withstand direct contact with liquids. Quite an order. Yet it's an order that is filled by skilled Wurlitzer chemists.